Hey, what is going on, my Shadowverse Masters? It's your boy here today, Dean from Burn 1, and once again we will be going over the top 4 deck list from both regional qualifiers that happened over the last weekend, Austria, and then the one that I myself got to attend, Chicago. A little bit of a spoiler, we did not make it. However, let's get right into the deck list. Congratulations once again to everyone who made top 8, and special congratulations to top 3. So first off, in Austria, we have the channel's kind of like punching bag at this point, D-Shift. You know, being proven wrong time and time again. We look at this list and we see a couple of things. We see the 2 of Demon Flame Mage. Pretty standard, actually, in list. But there is, of course, the option not to run it. 2 Wind Blast, everything else. 2 Sorcery Cache is a little awkward. Not used to seeing that, at least in lists. And then, what else do we have going on here? Not a whole lot that's special. We've got the Magic Missile, at least. You're able to copy that with the Merlin to be able to get removal and draw. That's kind of nice. And yeah, it's standard D-Shift. Nothing too spicy. 2 golems for the board clear. And the standard Evo deck. And I'm not going to really say these people's names because, like, this is like a handle, Symphonous, right? It's, I guess I will say their names. Second place, we have Bepis 90s, Havencraft. Let's see what we've got here going on. It's Ryan Wibberley's list, basically. The few changes. We see no Lucifer in the list, but we do see... What did we add? We added this thing, the... Sister Initiate. If there's an amulet on your field, give your leader +2 health. So we're able to get extra health, more healing, especially in the early game. A little bit nice. 3-2, very offensive stat line. Maybe be able to poke a little bit or clear a bigger threat. Other than that, yeah, it's a Haven list. You're going to play the Sentinel. You're going to grind them out, and you have just a little bit more healing in the early game against those aggro matchups. Evo deck is 1, 2, 2, 2, 3. So by dropping the Lucifer, we're able to play a 3rd John for the extra board clear. Third place, we have Call Me Clears, who managed to top with Dragon. And we'll see, it's a pretty standard list. 3 of the, this thing. This is the board clear, right? No, this is Serpent's Wrath. 3 of the, or 1 Dread Dragon. There we go. 1 Dread Dragon, probably for the mirror. If they try to drop a Lucifer or a random card, you're able to kill a Shenlong, you're able to kill most things. You can't kill Fafnir, though. And then the 1 of Genesis to be able to close the game. Evo list is pretty standard. Nothing too spicy there. Blocked Lotus, though, here in 4th, has, he's got some crazy cards. We've got the 2 Goblin, and we have the Ivory Dragon. This is a 1-mana 1/1. You can evolve it for 0. He plays 2 of the evolved. And when you evolve it, it cantrips if you're in overflow, so you get an extra draw, a little bit more dig into the deck. And then we're seeing all of the, like, this thing with Intimidate. It can't be attacked, basically, and then, like, it draw drops on attack. So you're able to, like, aggressively filter your hand, try to find these bigger bombs as the game goes on, and use these. The idea is that, like, right, you get like the Goblin down early, or you get like the absolutely like the 1-drop, and then you can use this to filter all of the garbage in the mid game. The Fire Lizard is a 3/2 stat line, but also ping something for 1. I don't know if the 1 actually comes up. Might. And then I think the thing that's crazy here is like 1 Forte Evo. I don't know if that's right. Oh, wait, no, it's 2 Forte Evos. 2 Forte Evos. Okay, yeah, that's probably fine. Seabrand Dragon. This is like a very aggressive list. Never sleeved anything like this up. I think I'd have to try it to really see what it does. See how it feels. Yeah, I've actually not even thought about putting something like this together. Pretty unique. And then we have the Chicago... or Rosemont, Illinois, topping deck list. And we have in first place Spencer's Forestcraft list. A little bit unique here. kind of the same approach that I took with my forest, where you don't want to actually play the cards that buff the fairies because it's too many cards in the early game. But there are some spicy things in here. One of Bellringer, probably just try to keep the count down to 40. It's like, what do you cut? Well, Bellringer, not really necessary. It's just kind of like a card that protects you against other things. But it itself is not the best. So I can understand only playing one. It also frees up a spot in the Evo deck, which I do like that. Because of that, instead of running like a 2... Instead of running like 2, 2, 2, 1, 1. Like, right, 4 2s and then 2 1s. Because you have the heavy Bellringer count. And you know that you're going to see Bellringer a lot in the early game. You're able to play a third Ancient Elf to be able to continuously bounce the Harvest Festivals. Or, like, clear up your board. Facilitate Roach. Just to be able to have a lot more aggression in the early game. Maybe pick up cards that you need. So I do actually like this, where you like kind of drop the Bellringer and you say these other cards are going to do it. But the crazy cards are definitely the Okami 4-mana 5/5. Absolutely. This is a Timmy card. I think this is a Timmy card. But supposedly, because there's like nobody on Dragon, and the Rune players didn't know what this was or something. I don't know. Like when you see it hit the board, you know what it is, right? Or like I'm surprised like nobody mentioned this to me, like that this was like we're walking around really. The like if you know this is coming, right? Like you get an execution and you just kill it. But people aren't playing execution. People are playing like aggro sword, and they can't out this thing. It's a 4-mana 5/5. Every time a follower enters the board, +1/+1. Well, you put this down on 4. Maybe you, like, had this thing down the turn before. Boom, you move up the fairies. It's a 7/7, right? This thing becomes unkillable extremely quickly if, like, your opponent does not have, like, a kill spell or a shapeshifting mage on, like, the turn it's dropped. And then on 6, you're able to play down the Aria and give it +4/+4. So it can be a 9/9. Like, if you drop this on 5, maybe move up a fairy. 6/6. Drop down the Aria. It's a 10/10. Smack them for half of their life. And then you don't need the Silverbolt, right? Like, why would you play the Silverbolt? Well... yeah, why? Surely Silverbolt's better than Rose Queen, right? Now that I'm saying this, and I'm saying it out loud, we got the 3 Harvest Festival, we have the 3 Ancient Elves. Would you even want to play Rose Queen? Like, yeah, Rose Queen's 15 damage, but Silverbolt's 8, and this dog's going to be hitting them. I guess that's too greedy. I guess that's assuming this dog actually hits. Yeah, that's got to be too greedy. But we also have the Fairy Beast 5-mana 5/5. But it has Banish of Pixie Follower in your EX area. Get +3 health. Draw a card. Just more sustain in the early game. If it sticks for a full turn cycle, not only do you get the 5 face damage, but you get 6 heal. A little bit better than a Curate. If you think about it over 2 turns, like if it managed to stick, it's better than a Curate. If you think about it in 1 turn cycle, it's 1 mana less. So it's technically still better than a Curate. And then it doesn't interfere with your Aria turn. That's going to be coming down on 6. Sometimes it can even, like, clear the tokens that already are there from, like, a fairy circle in the early game. Maybe you weren't able to promote those fairies. Or maybe you evolved this, so you didn't really have a use for the Wisp. But you're needing to clear them out before the Aria. Just a little bit of extra healing and sustain. And 2, Robin Hood. I don't like Robin Hood. But this is really good into Sword. It's really good into Sword, and there's a lot of Sword, so I can see where that helped him. Probably throughout the day. I don't think it's good in Dragon. But that's not what our meta was. Second place, we have Kai Shoji's Runecraft, 44 cards, 3 Bellringers. This is usually to help stop Dragon. It kind of can be put down on the 4 take turns to try to force a response out of them. Maybe they tapped out the turn before because you're Rune and they know you're not going to D-shift, so they might as well put down something. That's also wrong. I don't know. I personally don't like the Bellringers in Rune. I think it's a creature that you brick on and you wish it was a spell, and you just rather have less cards in deck if you're going to be playing it. But I also understand, like, I know some people are on this. What else in here? 2 sorcery. What? This is the second time that somebody has played 2 sorcery cash, and I do not understand it. Everything else is kind of standard. 1 magic missile. I think that's probably better than 2. 1 magic missile is... because the really only benefit of the magic missile is being able to dump it with the Merlin, or copy it with the Merlin to go over hand size, or to keep a hand size while also clearing the board. It's like not actually a good card. You don't want to cast it more than once. You don't even want to cast it once. You want to like dump it with the Penguin and then like Merlin on a 7-card, or like have a 7-card hand, play down the Merlin, search the Trail of Light, and then use the Magic Missile to be able to like bump up over to be able to discard the Trail of Light. You don't actually want to use Magic Missile almost ever. Or maybe it's like an incidental draw where like Merlin, maybe you need to kill a dragon. No, Dragonguard's got 7 health, so that doesn't even work. There's got to be like board configurations. Maybe it's like Shenlong, you Evo the Merlin, copy the Magic Missile, trade the Merlin in. And then that's 6, so you're able to clear a Shenlong that's warded if they do ward it. It's usually wrong to ward it, or maybe it smacked you already. 3 Mithril Golem, 1 D-Shift. The D-Shift, from my understanding, this is like the standard list. 2 Runeblade Summoners. I don't know how I feel about that one. It's like the standard list with like a D-Shift for a little bit of extra reach, so you're able to like, I don't know, what can you even curve out? On turn 10? On turn 10, you can like Runeblade Summon or D-Shift, or you could like Merlin, D-Shift, Evo the Merlin, or play the Demonic Strike. I don't know. You've got to have some like configurations that do something on like 10. It's pretty late, but like it's a singleton. I heard he didn't play it, so like it's like kind of not a real card in the deck. Everything else is a little bit standard. I guess no, this is. I was gonna say the Bellringer is also for early game aggression, but like you're Rune, you have 9 removal spells, you don't care. Third place we have another Runecraft, but this one's dirt. K Strider's Runecraft. Congratulations once again to top 3, and we have the triple Bellringer. The one of Snipe, I do think Snipe's good in dirt. You're able to hold mana. I don't. Oh, people in the channel know how I feel about this card. But Demonic Strike was killing people at the regional, so I don't know. Let's see. What do you cut for this? Oh, you cut price. No, you have Price of Magic. There's also Urge. There's a lot of control tools in this. It's like not a very aggressive dirt list. 2 Junos. Only 2 Golem protections. Because the idea is that you tutor it with the Merlin. 2 Executions, 2 Urds. 3 Erasmus. So like what? Golem is. I know people say to play Golem in this, but I don't actually understand it fully because Golem's pretty weak. It's just a 3 mana AoE for 6, and that's like really underwhelming. Unless you like turbo greed it out with the Ancient Alchemist sticking around for 2 full turns. I don't. And then it's a 1-of in the deck, right? I think it's like the least impactful 1-of you can have. I'm sorry if I'm overly judgmental of the Runecraft list. I'm a huge dirt enjoyer, and I have a lot of really spicy opinions about it. But yeah, the actual idea is that you're able to drop the. You're supposed to be able to open one of the Earth Sigils in the early game. Ancient Alchemist on 3. Hopefully, the Ancient Alchemist lives. If it does, that converts into like 9 face damage because you're able to like summon the golems, ping 3, and then if they haven't warded up, you're able to Ancient Alchemist swing as well. So it's 9. And then, is it 7 or 8? I think it's 8 mana. You're able to Merlin, search Demonic Strike, play the Demonic Strike, Evo the Merlin, play the Demonic Strike again to convert into another 6. And at any point past turn 8 as well, with the Ancient Alchemist, you're usually able to go like 3 Golems plus the Ancient Alchemist Evo, and that's 9 damage. Erasmus is great for board clear. The control tools, the only thing I'm like thinking of, it's like, does this help your dragon matchup that much? Like Urd is a good card, so like I can't fault it. Wait, what is this? The Evo deck has 2 Urds and main board. So you always want to evolve the Urd. 1 Demon Flame Mage, and like there's a lot of 1-ofs in here. When you draw them, they're good. And fourth place is Chris's Swordcraft. This is a deck that absolutely killed me. And these ratios, Chris, you can't do a man like this. You can't. I was absolutely blindsided. Okay, we have... this is definitely a more mid-rangey, and, you know, Quick Blader, not exactly the best card. It's a 1/1. With the banner, it's a 2/2. It's, like, good then. Converts a little bit better, but it's not... Like, 1 damage in this game is, like, so little. And, like, everything uptrades into it. But we have the 2 Swordsmen... 3 Oathless Knight. The idea is you're able to, like, kill things that your opponent leaves standing. Like, maybe they just try to, like, greed something out early. You're able to, like, take care of it swiftly. The 3 Veteran Lancer, I think the idea is that it's more annoying for your opponent to deal with, and then you can keep cards with, like, Storm, or, like, keep your actual, like, beat sticks, like, protected in the, like, early, like, late game. A little bit better than just a 3/3 vanilla. The onslaught is a 1-of. Actually, some Yugi Moto shit. The White General is a 1-of. The White General is able to go 5/3 with the banner. It's a 6/4, so it's able to clear Shenlong. Without the banner, it's able to trade into dragons and the other. What's the guy? Shapeshifting Mage. It's able to trade into Shapeshifting Mage. Double Aurelia. Aurelia is like kind of the best card in Sword currently. Getting the Hex Proof. 3 Awitas. Awitas helps, like, you know, you get the big board as long as you have banner down on 4 before the Awitas, and playing 3 banner. I do actually like 3 banner. I know a lot of people here have been greeting like 2 copies of an Unsearchable Amulet. I think if you're playing an Unsearchable Amulet that gives you advantage throughout the entire game, usually those are like good cards currently in the format. Should be playing 3, so I do like that. Tsubaki as a 2-of. Don't know how I feel about that one. She's both kill, like, right? So she's a control tool all the time. She's just as good as the Shadowed Assassin, if you really think about it. But she also can deal face damage. Because Shadow's Assassin is, like, kind of, like, not a card without the Evo, because we see a 2/2 split there. The difference is the Shadowed Assassin can be tutored with the Made Leader. Which, yeah, 2/2 split. And the 1-of Front Guard General. I think the big thing that... Chris is playing that most people, or Chris is not playing that most people do, is the Fervid Soldier, the one that gets +1 attack every time something else gets played after it. I do think that's, like, pretty unique. But yeah, that's the top 4 decks for both regions. You know, hopefully we'll be able to do this again in, I think, like another week and a half when we get some more. And good luck to everyone that was in those top 3s at Worlds. Hopefully you guys, you know, maybe you guys can have a repeat performance there. And even if not, enjoy your trip. Until next time, this is Dean signing out.